Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. So I'm back from Egypt and this is just a short video just to say hello. And to be honest, I did miss recording videos. I did miss YouTube. The internet in Egypt is really slow, so I couldn't even watch too many videos. Sometimes when I was in, like a better resort, or I happened to have faster internet, I jumped on YouTube and checked some videos. I even got once for a few minutes on Simon's live chat. But yeah, most of the time it was really quite difficult to get online. But I'm back. I'm a little bit sick still. It was an intense trip, guys. I don't even know yet what I think about Egypt. It was like amazing and so annoying on many levels. I found it incredibly interesting and incredibly challenging. Yeah, I wonder if I have any Egyptians watching me. They would be curious to know, because obviously I've been to Egypt only for 17 days. And that's nothing to, be online now and speak about a country with certainty of any kind. So no, I do not have any certainty about that country, but I can share with you a few maybe like personal opinions, which obviously also I reserve the right to change if I go to Egypt again and, get to know the country a little bit better. As in every country, there are a lot of lovely people and a lot of annoying people. One thing that really kind of bugged me in Egypt was this type of welcome attitude, which didn't feel very honest. It felt very like, welcome my friend, money, 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 money. So you were always feeling like everybody wants to rip you off, everybody wants to kind of use you because you're a tourist. And as a tourist and as a, I think of myself a responsible tourist, I really don't mind paying more in a country of, and usually like Egypt is quite a poor country, so it's not that I have any issue with paying more for things. But it's not even about money in the end. It's more about that kind of sense and attitude of people, that when you meet then an honest person, you don't trust them, because 70% of times you kind of went open-hearted and went like, oh, you want to help me, that's nice, or oh, hi, nice to meet you, and then suddenly there is like a back layer to that welcome. Like once I had this, that was actually very simple but very sad encounter. It was this woman sitting on the pavement, older woman, she was just sitting there, like she wasn't begging or anything. And we were waiting for Uber, and suddenly we hear this welcome, welcome, so we turn around and there's this woman. So we smile and we say hello. And 2 seconds later she goes, money, 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 money. And I don't know, it just made me so fucking sad. And like you sad and upset and frustrated, and you go like, even if you want to help someone, you at some point go like, fuck off, I don't want to help anybody, that was my response. So I'm not a very big human, I think, because I was just going, I can't fucking take it anymore. So I don't know, that was really, really upsetting for me and challenging, and really challenged a lot my patience, my what I thought liberal views, and what I thought humanity of mine, and being such a good person. I did get challenged with this white Western approach, like, oh, you have to be nice and smile. At some point I just couldn't smile anymore and be nice, and I thought like, how fucked is it in our culture that we have this superficiality as well. So it's not just Egypt just exposed a lot of stuff about my own kind of understanding of life and things. Of course we met, thank God, quite a few lovely people, and I think a lot of people in Egypt are not very happy with how things are. You know, when you see all this amazing sightseeing, this side of Egypt is that was one of the best countries to go and visit when it comes to history and yeah, the landmarks. It was amazing, but I think you just keep wondering, like, what happened, you know, between that development, that evolved culture, that amazing ability of skill and science and knowledge. When you look at the monumental buildings that were happening, what happened between now and then modern Egypt, which is quite struggling, and you know, yeah, it's hard country to be in. And I don't know, maybe pyramids and all these monuments, they intensify energy, because I felt most of the time like crying. I felt really intense, also in amazing sense. So one of the beautiful story that I wanted to share with you, because obviously not only shitty things happened to me there was mostly amazing things. But when I went to visit pyramids, you walk through and you pass the Sphinx first. So before I left for Egypt, I actually prepared some little gifts I wanted to gift to Egypt, you know, to Egyptian land, to just be kind of like reciprocate and ask for permission to actually be on that land. So I found those flint stones recently when I went on a little trip around my town. So I took one of the flint stones for the Sphinx, and you know, it's hard to kind of have an intimate moment around Sphinx because there's like loads of people, there's hundreds of people passing by, standing, taking photos, and you can't actually walk up to the Sphinx. It's in like a little, you know, valley kind of groove. So yeah, I took my flint stone and I had like this really beautiful moment of connection. And I asked this guardian of the land and of the pyramids to just receive us and to let us in and just, you know, let us basically like experience the country. And I threw the stone, the flint stone, into that groove, you know. And then we walk past towards the pyramids. You kind of walk along the line of the Sphinx. And I kneeled because I saw like something sticking out of the like sand, like that sandy kind of, you know, deserty earth. And there were two shells. So I just like, so, oh, the shells. So what are they doing here, you know? But I left them there. And then like next, I just looked by the corner of my eye. I see something blue. So I picked it up. And it was definitely, like, it was like 2 minutes after I had this whole communication and communion with Sphinx and asking him to receive us. And then 2 minutes later, I found this amazing, raw, natural turquoise just there when there's hundreds of people walking past. And tears went down my, you know, like tears just started flowing through me. I was like having this moment of like, I felt like the Sphinx answered. He's like, welcome, Kasia, and here's a stone for you. You know? It's basically how it felt. It was a very magical moment. It had to, you know, explain and tell the story afterwards, but it was a very beautiful time-wise. It was like really, hello, welcome, and hello, welcome straight away, and plus this amazing, gorgeous, natural turquoise. So then I met amazing men, and he was the only example, or maybe not the only, but not many example of the beautiful shop owners. Because usually when you're a tourist in Egypt, you have to haggle. You're constantly bugged by people, come into my shop, take a look at my shop, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like, no, thanks. I thought I'm not going to buy anything. And so I spoke to this man in Luxor. He's got a crystal shop outside of the Luxor Museum. And somehow, you know, he didn't bug. He didn't like try to get me to get anything. So I was just chatting with him. And after like 5 minutes chatting, what we're doing, like la 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 la, you know, I told him the story about the Sphinx. And I asked him, like, is it possible that this is a stone from Egypt? Or do you think that somebody, you know, like me, left this turquoise there. And he said that probably somebody left this turquoise there, but he goes, it doesn't matter, you know, because this stone was meant for you at this particular moment. And it was a beautiful story. And I'm so happy you told me this story, you know, so I was like validated in my magical story. It was really, really a beautiful experience. And this man was so lovely. And somehow I happened to be there next day and he recognized me and he's like, hi, how are you today? So I felt like, you know, I made like a beautiful connection there with this man from the crystal shop. And the story with the Sphinx was very touching for me. And actually the whole experience with the pyramids was quite amazing. I always, you know, I was, as most of you might know, I was never really drawn to Egypt so much. I was just, yeah, it's interesting. And then since the Mary, Walking with Mary, and the kind of Mary Magdalene and Sisterhood of the Rose, like Egypt really popped into my mind. So that's why I went, because, well, that's me. I get decks I want and I travel where I want, if I can. If I can't, I wait and plan till I can. As I say, dreams, you have dreams to fulfill them. So if you dream about something, try to make it happen. But yeah, it was, I didn't expect it to be that intense. But it's interesting. It's such an interesting country. It's just a mixture of this amazing antiquity, incredible, monumental selection of historical buildings, statues, gold and, you know, jewelry in the Egyptian museum. When you go in there, it's like the level of skill and craftsmanship thousands years before our era was incredible. And makes you wonder about our civilization, you know, makes you wonder, wow, we seem to be so evolved now. Wait and see, right? So somehow this wheel keeps turning, you know, and whatever is up comes down. Always reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune in Tarot. So it was very beautiful in this regard. And also, you know, my favorite was the pyramids and the Sphinx. Pyramids of Giza, because I of course I didn't manage to see all the other pyramids. I loved Hatshepsut Temple and the Mut Temple, not the Mut, the Hathor Temple in her temple, because she was worshipping Mut and Hathor, and yeah, there was the beautiful Hathor Temple with these pillars with head of Hathor. And in the Egyptian museum, you also have these beautiful statues of the cow with the horns like Isis. So, you know, when you look at all these statues and how they come from the ancient Egypt towards the more modern Egypt, it's so evolved into, like, you know, from the cow into the Hathor into Isis. They seem all to take each other's attributes and kind of mix them together. And then Mary comes in also. So the Christianity side of things is very present in Egypt, in the Coptic Church. And one of the oldest districts of Cairo is the Coptic district, when you have heaps of these Coptic churches. The Hanging Church, you know, Church of St. George, Church of Virgin Mary, Church of St. Barbara. It's amazing. It's like another world. And that was very fascinating for me to go there at this particular time. After Walking with Mary, after getting in touch with like this, you know, I always used to be interested in the mystical and the Gnostic sense of a religion, any religion, particularly Christian religion, because I was brought up Christian. Catholicism, I think, in some way or another destroyed a little bit this Christian mysticism for me, because they rejected in most of the time. Only wise priests and wise Catholic people embrace prayer as meditation, and, you know, like Meister Eckhart or a lot of Christian mystics. They didn't have a very easy life, you know, but there's a lot of wisdom there. And somehow my approach to Christianity starts to change. My approach to Catholic Church doesn't change much. I'm really kind of not approving of most of the things that came with this church. But the Coptic Christians, they're more like Orthodox Christians, and they separated from the Catholic Church, or not separated because they were first, so somehow maybe Catholic Church separated from them at some point. So it was good to see, you know, go into the, like, all these places to see the history. So like, check this, like Mother Mary, I just love this style. And you know, we're talking like 4th, 3rd century, you know. So this is Mary Magdalene. Check her out. I just love this style of painting. And so yeah, this was amazing, the Christian Cairo. And also then I went to Zaytun, which is a district in Cairo, and there is this Virgin Mary church where Virgin Mary apparently appeared in 70s. And a lot of people witnessed her. She was hovering above the church, which was built a few years ago by a man who wanted to build there his house, but in the dream, apparently Mary appeared to him and asked to build a church in this spot. So after the church was built, a few years later, she appeared above this church. And this was a painting painted by an artist who also witnessed her apparition. And it's a beautiful painting. It has energy of its own. It feels alive. So it was a very beautiful experience to go into this church. I went there twice, actually. Just in the beginning when I arrived, and at the end before we left, I wanted to go there again. It was a beautiful atmosphere in this church, and yeah, it was really lovely. So yeah, that's just in short, maybe for now, my you know, trip to Egypt and welcome back. I'm going to post very soon, probably by the end of this maybe weekend, and another interview with series from the Inspired Tarot Map. And this is going to be an interview with Rose from Dance of the Soul Tarot. And I think it's a very beautiful interview, very soulful. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. And I have a few decks to show you, which, you know, this is going to come. I'm gaining my voice back. I've got a few readings to do already. So if you wanted to book a reading with me, go ahead. Again, I think I do mention on my Etsy shop, there is a little information for you, that if you want better price option, please book through my website, because obviously I'm not, I don't have to pay Etsy anything, so my prices are lower on the website and higher on Etsy shop. But yeah, whatever suits you better, you know. For some people, like few bucks this way or this way doesn't really matter. So I invite you to check out what I offer, and I'm hoping to put out some more readings, like a variety of different readings again, into my shop and on the website. But slowly, Kasia, I'm still getting better. It was interesting that I found a turquoise, which, you know, is a beautiful stone, a protective stone, also stone lovely for the heart chakra for me and for the throat, but also for the third eye, in my opinion. And then my throat just went at some point. I was leaving Egypt on the last day. I was just feeling like, oh, I'm getting a cold or something. I think it was caused by the aircon, but yeah, it's interesting that I think it's all connected. And I was frustrated so many times, and you can't just go there, you know, and shout at somebody. So I think like this unexpressed pain. And also I watched a movie in Egypt, which is not a new movie. I posted it on Instagram. It was called Chloe and Theo. And oh my God, if you haven't watched this movie, you have to be in the mood for the slow movie, because it's not like one of those new, you know, fast-paced movies. It's a slow movie. But it was so moving, and I don't know, because maybe it was in Egypt. I cried after this movie for like 20 minutes, seriously. Chloe and Theo, or Theo and Chloe, something like that. It's about the Inuit man who comes to look for elders in New York City, to speak to them about the state of our world and ask them for help. Because his elders had dreamed that everything is going to go poof. It's amazing. But it moved me so much. And as I said, I think in Egypt, this is a sacred land. Everything gets intensified. everything is loud and noisy and at the same time really intense and powerful. And I think I'm an empath because fuck, I totally just like took it in. So now I'm getting back to the regular, and I think a lot of integration will happen over the time. So thank you for listening. I hope it's informative for some of you at least, but I'm going to be back with some more tarot videos. So yeah, I'll speak to you soon, my friends, and it was I missed you all, so please give me some love in the comments and tell me if any of you have been to Egypt, and if, like, what did you think and how did you feel, and yeah, I'd be curious to hear. And if there are any Egyptians who are watching this channel, please let me know how you feel about your country right now, because yeah, I didn't get to speak to too many Egyptians because the level of English, most of the people whom I met wasn't good enough. It was just a simple exchange of information, but nothing we could have gone really deep into. So anyway, I'm happy to be back, and I speak to you soon. Bye.